Yeah, I think it was a draw all day long, really, and obviously they've nicked something, and fair play to Stourbridge. I don't think they were any better or any worse than what we were. We haven't played well. I just said to the team there, the disruption when, you have one injury is sort of massive. To have as many as we have in game, it's just calamitous, really. And like, sort of fair play to all the lads that were playing, trying to keep shape, trying to keep going. I've just got to mention, I said this, that sort of Naheem wasn't fit. He tried to do as much as he possibly could. We had situations with lads trying to get them off the pitch because we want to try and keep them right for Tuesday. Okay, and had it stayed at 0-0, that might have been a good decision, And I just said to the boys just there, like, we all make mistakes, and like, we're not going to stand here and just sort of go, right, we're invincible as coaches and as management, and that's down to me. So possibly that was sort of a mistake on our part, that we sort of changed that just a little bit too much. But it was a draw all day long. That would have kept an unbeaten run. Unbeaten runs are more often than not don't last too long, and especially in a competitive league. It's just about how we're going to react to that and how we're going to come back. Possibly my biggest concern at the moment is the amount of injuries.
Yeah. And can you give us some insight into some of the injuries that were picked up today?
Well, I think Michael Clark, he's had an horrendous time, and I don't think I've just let him go there. I think he's quite upset with the situation. He's hurt his hamstring. Jaden's in the treatment room at the moment. He had a problem. That's why he didn't play 2 weeks ago. And yeah, I've chose to get him in and try and in because he was fine in training, and obviously the Achilles isn't quite right, so that is yet again, it's another concern. You've got Brad Russell, he's our goal scorer, and he's out for a week or so still with an ankle, and the list goes on. I'm not going to say everybody. Charlie Castle, you're looking at Harry Titchmarsh. It's obviously no availability with Cole. And we haven't got that big a squad, and it's just started to affect us, and it's such a shame. But we got to roll with it. We brought obviously Aaron, and who everybody knows, Aaron Green, really good player. I'm so pleased that we've got him, but he hasn't had much football recently, and obviously making sure that he doesn't get any muscle injuries, and keeping him as fit as he possibly can, with the limited amount of minutes that he's had.
And then a quick turnaround, another game on Tuesday. What can you say, just looking ahead to that?
Well, it'll just be a matter of how many lads are fit. We can't keep bringing in lads. Sort of the board have been very generous and allowed us to bring in a certain amount, and that we sort of really grateful for. It's a shame, and I don't mean this to be any disrespect to lads that are coming in. I mean, with the injuries, it's been forced on us, and. Obviously that'll end up with everybody coming back and possibly being a little bit overloaded. But it's just, listen, it's the ups and downs of running a football team. No one said it was going to be smooth or and that. So we've just got to deal with it.
Right, Mark. An unfortunate result today, but a good start to the season. How do you reflect on how things have been going so far?
Obviously very well. We've picked up maximum points apart from today. The boys will credit to themselves, to be honest with you. We were short on numbers to start with today, and then even worse, we've picked up, I think it's 3 injuries. During the game we finished with 10 men. But yeah, I thought we've started off extremely well.
And just on today, How did you find the game?
We wasn't firing on all cylinders, but we was always in the game. We were creating chances. It looked a draw, to be honest. It had a draw written all over it, but unfortunately we've conceded with our last kick of the game.
And how have you found playing with the team this season compared to last year? Obviously there was a lot of transition going on last year, staying up on the last day of the season.
The squad's in a different bracket this year. The boys are exceptional, the signings are exceptional, and you can see that by the performances and the results. Winning 5 on the bounce is not easy, so the boys have got to take all the credit for that.
And then lastly, what can you say ahead of the game on Tuesday? It's a quick turnaround.
Yeah, and it's probably do us ideal really. I know we've picked up some injuries, but the best teams bounce back, and that's what we're going to do on Tuesday.